And we're back in this thing. Listen, my last video got over 25 dislikes and I lost 6 subscribers. And at the same time, it got more likes than that and I gained 6 subscribers. So let me tell you why that's a good thing. Because I want to purge as many of these crybaby, loser mentality people off of my channel. I want to get rid of you guys as fast as possible. So if you think that the world is over, doom and gloom, I'm going to stop trying, I'm not going to work on my health, I'm not going to work on my social skills, I'm not going to work on, please get off my channel, bro. This channel is not for you. This channel is for people who want to actualize their dreams. I call us dream actualizers. Okay. The word actualize means to make a reality of. All right. And that's exactly what we're going to do, because the difference between us and them is very simple. We believe that no matter what life throws at us, we're going to pivot and make our dreams become a reality, no matter what those dreams are. Because again, what is the other option? Please, somebody tell me, what's the other option? Quit, give up, get fat? Like, what are we talking about here? Be broke? Like, what are we saying? You understand what I'm saying? And so it's like, there's a lot of the times where you wake up every single day and you have a choice. I'm either going to try to make it become a reality, or I'm going to not and bitch, moan, and complain. And I'm seeing a lot of guys cry and complain. And I'm just not that guy, man. I grew up optimistic, and I'm going to continue to be optimistic. I'm a glass half full type of guy, and I believe that it's going to make it happen. Not only because I was blessed with the genetics to do it, but at the same time, it's like when I'm around a community, especially my loyal subscribers, when I'm around you guys, it further fuels me to want to make a reality, because it's possible. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and highlight one of our members here. It says, as someone who is undergoing his transformation, this video is so inspiring. I went from 300 pounds to 170 pounds in a year and 4 months. I changed my life for the better, and I'm in the best shape of my life. Tracking my calories, like you said, made this possible. Currently learning new skills in IT to get my money up. Working on my body taught me discipline and consistency. Trying to get into cybersecurity. Very inspiring video, bro. You are right. And here's the thing. I know I'm right because I've been on both sides of the coins. I've been on the winner side and I've been on the loser side. And let me tell you what you get on the loser side. Nothing. You get nothing. I had another guy comment. He said, being a loser is a badge of honor in today's society. No, it's not. Who taught you that? Who's agreeing? And again, like 9 or 10 people agreed with that. Who's agreeing with that? You're being, here's the thing, right? Because I could understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, I have no idea where he's coming from. Because it's like you're saying being a loser in the eyes of society, maybe, but like being a loser to yourself too, bro. I don't get that. I don't want to be a loser when it comes to my health. I don't want to be a loser when it comes to my money. I don't want to be a loser when it comes to my relationships. I don't want to become a loser when it comes to my purpose. And a lot of guys think that, oh, the game is rigged, I'm not going to do anything. That's all. That's all I hear when I read a lot of these comments, bro. It's a bunch of you guys crying, bro. And it's like, nah, bro, like get in the game. For some of us, like I said, because I've read all those comments, bro. So I know the guys who are rocking with me who said, yeah, welcome back. You're in the game. Let's get in the game. Because again, they've been rocking with me for the longest time. And they know like I'm this type of guy. I'm the type of guy that's like, okay, we could talk about the BS, you know what I'm saying? We can have our little powwow or circle, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and still get after it. You feel what I'm saying? And so again, understand, bro. Like I said earlier about that guy's comment, he said, tracking my calories made this possible. So let me give you guys some, not even advice. Let me give you the winners out there something to think about. There's a lot of times when you're on this journey that you're going to have a negative mindset. A lot of guys have negative mindset, negative voices in their head. Maybe even their family members or friends around them are negative as well. That's going to happen. But again, what's that? Newton's second law? Third law? Which one is it? I think it's the third law, where it's like every action has an opposite reaction. You guys know what I'm talking about? Equal and opposite reaction. The way that I think about that is I think about it like if there is a negative force that is going towards me and trying to convince me to do something, that means a positive force exists as well. And so you have to make sure that you as a man are on the positive side and not the negative side. Because if there's one thing that I've learned chasing my dreams or making my dreams become a reality, all of the goals that I've had become a reality, is there's always going to be people who say negative things. There are always people who are going to try to hold you back. There are always people that don't want you to make it a reality. And so my question that I've always asked myself and the clients that I've had is, why would you align with their mentality? Because again, there's always going to be people who have that negative thing to say, but how many people can you find have an actual positive thing to say? How many people are on your team when it comes to making your dreams become a reality? It's very few, which means that, and again, I should say on your team consistently, right? Anybody can offer a good job or a keep going, right? But how many people are actually with you when it's 3 a.m. and you're up staring at the ceiling? How many? You. So that means that you are the first and the last line of defense when it comes to making your dreams become a reality. You understand that? And so if you're the first and last line of defense, why would you have the mentality? Why would you adopt the mentality that the game is rigged, that you can't make it, that whatever it is that is the opposite of where it is that you're trying to be? Does that make sense? So many guys, especially in this doom and gloom cloud or doom and gloom crowd, they want to try to beat me with logic. And it's like that's illogical, because your logic is going to lead you to lose. It's not leading you to win. You understand what I'm saying? Let's read some of these comments, bro, because it's just insane to me that a lot of these guys think that way. And if you think this way in any type of shape or capacity, bro, unsubscribe off my channel. Trust me, I won't miss you. Get off the channel, all right? So let me read some of these things. This man said, "We're all losers, my friend. We all die. We're all forgotten in time, and in the end, none of us, none, none of us really matter anything. From the richest man to the poorest beggar, we're all doomed to die and be forgotten. So we're all effed up to the get-go. Have a nice day." And 7 people like that. This is what I'm talking about. What are you saying? Like, what is the end goal for thoughts like that? Help me understand that. We're all losers, my friend. False. You're losers. And the 7 people who like that are losers. Don't drag me into where you're thinking of. That's your state of mind. All right. And I'm here to tell you that if you made that comment or you're a guy that agrees with that, I'm here to tell you that you're on the wrong team. There's 2 versions of yourself. There's the version of yourself that's a loser, and there's a version of yourself that's a winner. Which one do you think that those words that I just said, which one do you think that mindset aligns with? The loser part of yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And so again, he said, we're all losers. No, we're not. We all die. Duh. We're all forgotten in time. Who was trying to be remembered? You see what I'm saying? As a man, you have to ask yourself, what are my goals in life? My goal in life is not to be remembered by any of you guys. Not really. To be honest, it's like my goal in life is to make to build my heaven on earth, basically, and have a great time while I'm here. But not doom and gloom and cry because the world is the way that the world is. Absolutely not. The world is the way that the world is, but that doesn't mean that I can't get mine. Does that make sense? And so a lot of guys out there who are winners, we just realize that, wait a minute, if I can control myself and put myself in environments and situations, that's going to help me get what I want long term. Okay, anyway, what do you say? At the end, none of us really matter anything. And that's a testament to your self-esteem, because it's like, matter to who? Matter to what? At the end of the day, bro, the very first level of personal development is you have to take care of yourself, okay? The second level is you take care of your family. Your third level is you take care of your community. The fourth level is you take care of your culture, all right? Nation, whatever. And so the first one is yourself. And so when you say none of us really matter, what you're saying is I don't matter to myself. I matter to myself. I don't know about you guys. I matter to myself. And I matter to myself so much that I've deep dived with myself, with my journal. If you don't have a journal, you're not in the game. If you don't have a journal, you're not in the game. If you don't have a journal, you're not in the game. If you don't have a journal, you're not in the game. I deep dive with my journal. And I really sat down and asked myself, I said, what do I want? What do I really want? What does MD really, really want? And I just wrote everything down. And when I really wrote everything down, I really want this. It's not something like, oh, I want a Lamborghini, when I'm perfectly fine with renting a Lamborghini. You know what I mean? I really want this, like, consistently over the long term. When I wrote those things down, bro, I was like, this is very attainable. Very attainable. And that's when you start looking around. I was like, okay, in what world can I get these things and it makes sense? And then the question is going to ask you is like, what are you willing to do to get it? So, of course, I have my morals. I have my values. But let's just say, because I'll give you guys one right now. I like dirt bikes. I like the ATVs. I like jet skis, shit like that. Right? How much is a dirt bike? A good one? What, like $1,500? You know what I'm saying? At least a good enough one for what I'm looking for. $1,500. And of course, it grows up in price, but let's just say $1,500. Can I get that? Yes. As a man, if you dedicate, the thing that I've learned on my masculine development journey is that if you dedicate yourself to trying to get something, it will come true. Like, you will get it. All right. And of course, it depends on what it is. If you're over here saying, like, I need $1 billion, right? Like, let's be honest. But if you're talking about, like, I need a dirt bike, I need $1,500, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's very easy to get. That's very easily obtainable. And so the first level is realizing that you can get it. And once I realize that I can get it, I'm like, okay, cool. Next thing I have to move up is to realizing, okay, what environment do I want it in? Does that make sense? So the first one is like, I get the dirt bike. And so I'm riding around my neighborhood. Well, not only can I not ride it anytime I want to, right? Because again, I have neighbors. I don't want to, have neighbors. They could call the police and yada, yada. Right. So not only that, and then I can't ride it without like a helmet, or I have to get it registered with the state and blah, 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 blah. Right. I'm like, okay, this is not the ideal situation for this. Okay, well, what is the ideal situation? The ideal situation is if I had like my own like plot of land and I could just freaking ride that thing to the cows come home. You know what? I could ride that thing naked if I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a man. I want to do whatever I want. You feel me? And if I want to ride a freaking a dirt bike naked throughout the field, I'm going to do that. You feel what I'm saying? But that's the mindset that I have. And so then it becomes okay, well, how much is the dirt bike? $1,500. How much is a parcel of land in your country, right? Maybe like 50,000, 60,000. I'm like, okay, that's kind of expensive. But it's like, are you willing to leave your land to go buy land? It's like, well, how much is foreign land? And you could probably get like an acre or two for like 6,000 an acre. And I'm like, yeah, I would definitely leave. And that's the difference between a winner's mentality and a loser's mentality. A loser's mentality is not willing to do whatever it takes as long as it aligns with his morals and his values. When a winner's mentality, I'm like, shit, tell me, would you leave the country? Yes, I leave the country. Would you learn a whole nother language? Sí, claro. You know what I'm saying? Of course. I would do it. And a lot of guys won't do it. And you know why they won't do it? Because they're freaking lazy. Period. You're lazy. You don't want to do it. You don't want to learn a new language. You don't want to get in shape. You don't want to work at your job. You don't want to figure out how to move up in your job. Hold on. Let me read one of these comments. I remember this guy had a comment like this. He said, I moved up from making $9 an hour in 2020 to $20 an hour today, and I'm affording less than I made at $9 an hour. The whole reason I tried to move up at this job was so I could have time to focus on building a business. Right. And you were scammed. Congratulations, you're scammed. You spend all that time trying to go from 9 to 20. You went from 9 to 20. You invested all that time just to realize that it wasn't even worth it and you can afford less. Exactly. So now you have to figure out, again, we can sit, cry and complain, you know what I'm saying? Or we can figure out, okay, well, how do I make more money that's not in the same path that I was just on? Either one, you get high income skills, or two, you figure out the next level, right? Because the first things first is W-2, right? That's just having a job. And unless you're like in the high ranges of getting a job, you're probably not going to have a lot of disposable income. So boom, then you have to jump into self-employment and whatever skill set that you have for that. Self-employment, there's a lot of guys who succeed in self-employment. However, again, you're not going to have time to build that business that you want, especially if it's an online business, right? So then what? Then you have to figure out what investments can I make that generate cash flow that's going to give me extra capital to work with, right? These are the game that you have to figure out. You understand what I'm saying? This is why I tell these guys, and I don't really say it that much on this channel, but it's like you should be figuring out a way to work online immediately. Because if you can work online, live in a different country with lower cost of living, you're going to be saving a lot of money. If you're saving a lot of money and you're in a country with lower cost of living, your buying power increases 10, 20x, which means you're easily able to get the things that you ultimately want out of life. And again, if you want a free training on that, I have that in the link in the description. If you want to learn how to make money online, as far as building your own brand and stuff like that, go ahead and check that link. But again, this is the game. It's like you set off and you figure out that, wait a minute, I'm going the wrong way. Then you change directions, and then you figure out, oh wait, I got to do this. Then you go do that. Then I got to do this, and then you go do that. This is the game for men. The ultimate desires for men, or not ultimate desire, but the ultimate goal for men is to continuously chasing what makes us happy. It's not the result. It's not the Lamborghini. It's not the girls, it's not the clothes, it's not the money, it's the pursuit of these things, okay? And then building out things that you enjoy the long term. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys that I've seen on the internet and they love fishing. They're obsessed with fishing. And so I was listening to a live of this guy who was fishing, and he was basically like, you know what? All I do is I get up, I go to work, and I spend all my money on fishing stuff. And I thought to myself, and at first I was like, well, that's kind of dumb, right? But then I thought to myself, it's like, what if I really, like, all I cared about was fishing? What if all I cared about is fishing? It's like, then I'm living the dream. That's the dream. Get up, go to work, make some money, get the paycheck, spend it on fishing. And of course, you know, you have your responsibilities, right? Let's not be childish and thinking that he takes his whole check, doesn't pay rent, doesn't buy food, right? But again, I'm sure he takes the majority of his money. It's like fishing rod, fishing lure, fishing this, fishing that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's the game for men. They told you that you wanted this, that, and the third. And when you actually sit down with yourself with a journal, if you don't have a journal, you're not in the game. If you don't sit with yourself with a journal, you realize, like, wait a minute, I didn't actually want these things. If I was being honest, all I want to do is wake up, grab a couple beers if you're into drinking. I'm not personally, but go out on the water and fish. And like, that's the life. That's your life. It's not until you're trying to please society or other people or women, for that matter, that you start trying to go on journeys you never even wanted to be on in the first place. And then you wonder why you can't win and you're freaking sad. Anyways, so yeah, guys, this has been, I think, a long enough video, but you understand the point. The point is, bro, if you are a loser, you have that loser mentality. I'm not willing to do whatever it takes to get what it is, what I want, that's within my morals and values. I don't want you in the channel, bro. I don't. Because again, at the same time, you're dragging the rest of us down. The rest of us are like, you know what? I have an optimism towards life. This area might be bad, but it all can't be bad. And if it is all bad, then how can I carve out a special place that's only for me so I can enjoy the things that I want consistently over a long period of time? That's the game, man. And if you're not playing that game, we have nothing to talk about because that's all I focus on. All right. So like the video if you like the video. If not, whatever. And I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. Peace out.